All right, Kareem, go ahead, kick it off.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Nneka.
Hi.
Can you take us through that final possession? What you guys talked about in the huddle and kind of how you wanted to attack the rim in the way that you did.
Um, so based on what we had been seeing leading up into that point, Noe was talking about getting Sky downhill. And that's something that time and time again has worked for us. But Sky told me when we came out that she anticipated them switching if I slipped. So instead of actually setting the screen, she told me to slip. And that was kind of what we ended up doing to be able to get not just the shot off, but the last shot off.
Some couple for you real quick. Big steal down the stretch, big shot, obviously, to go ahead. Kind of what do those moments kind of mean for you kind of in your first game back here?
I mean, ultimately coming back here, my end goal was just to win. And however that may look, I knew coming in, Washington is a very scrappy team. And I even said it in our huddle, like, we're gonna have to take this. Like, they're not gonna go away. So in my mind, I just had to do whatever it was. If it was guarding Sony, it was guarding Sony. If it was hitting the three, hitting the three. Like, whoever would have put the shot up, we would have had supreme trust in anyone to take that type of shot. So I'm more pissed off about the final defensive moment, but we came back and we have so much trust in Sky and Nneka in their leadership and how they just ran that last play, and we were willing to live with whatever result comes out of it.
And just one more for me. I gotta ask the follow-up from pregame. You said there wasn't much of a conversation when you made the request. You're having your best year of your career, all-star. What kind of went into the decision to make the request?
It's like I've been saying, I just wanted an opportunity to compete for a championship in playoffs. And, Seattle was the place that I landed in that. It's not very often that you hear a player that had what I had going on here in Washington that would want to request a trade, but that just speaks to who I am and the competitor that I am. That's no slight towards Washington. They're just in a different space. So I'm just very appreciative and grateful that it was able to work out the way it did. Washington got what they wanted, and I ultimately got what I wanted. The type of games like this, where we're literally just trying to make sure that we compete for playoffs and make that championship run.
Hey, Nneka, Rob Knox from the Next. Just share a little bit. Obviously, you all have won three in a row, four straight on the road. What's been different for you all from an execution standpoint? Winning these close games.
Yeah, we've been in a lot of close games in the last month, and so I've said it before and I'll say it again today. We've actually been executing in the big moments. It's the smaller moments that I think we were able to string together today to be able to put a nail biter into the win column. So yes, we have a lot of big plays, but there was a lot of great defensive attention to detail moments that kept us in the game and gave us an opportunity to be on top in a close game.
This question is for Slim. Congratulations on your comeback and the win. But what's your fondest DMV moment? What's your fondest DMV moment?
I don't know, man. I was here for 3 years. That's a lot to pick from. I guess if I had to pick off the top of my head, um, I don't know. I guess I met a lot of great people here, and so for me, that's probably my best DMV moment. Just meeting a lot of people that turned into family, and it makes this place very special to me.
All right, we're going to take a couple questions from Zoom. Percy, go ahead.
Hey, this question for either of you guys. Hey, just how important was this win, just in terms of all of the close losses that you guys have? Did any of that play into what happened to today? Thanks.
You think so?
I mean, yeah, you have so many close losses. It's one of those things where you're just trying to get over that hump, and we knew once we got over that hump, we were gonna hit the ground running, and it was definitely one of those games today where we had to get over the hill in Washington. So for us, we know that going into playoffs, these are the type of games that's probably going to be happening more times than not. And what better way to prepare than to have these type of games and get comfortable in these tight situations. So today was another opportunity for us. We executed. It fell, the ball fell to our side, but I'm for sure, knowing that our team is going to go back, watch the film, and do what we need to do so that we don't have too many of these type of games.
All right, Jeff, you're up.
Yeah, for Slim, you've had the opportunity to play with 3 of the top rookies from this rookie class. Can you kind of just talk about all 3 of them and their games today?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with Dom. It's just been great playing with her. I think after our first practice, we hit crazy chemistry, and it's been dope just to see her grow as an opponent and now as a teammate. Just watching her grow these last 6-7 games that I've been here. Sony and Kiki obviously played with them as well, and it's just really dope to see Kiki dominate the way she does in the paint with the fearlessness that she has, and just Sony just being so smart and knowing how to just get her shot off. Even though she's having a hard time, she's getting harassed, she's seeing all types of defenses, and still manage to stay poised and never, break a sweat. So kudos to all 3 of them because they're coming into a very physical league and they're holding their own. And you just wish for them the best.
All right, Kevin Pelton, you're up.
Hey, Slim, you mentioned the miscommunication. Oh, sorry, on the last shot.
There you go. Do you say
What
miscommunication on
happened
the last
there,
shot?
and how much easier is that to learn from after you win?
Say that one more time.
The miscommunication on the last shot. What
Mhm.
happened there for Washington? What happened there, and how much easier is that to learn from in a win?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously they screened. We were supposed to switch. That was on me. Take full accountability. Sometimes I might get a little too nose deep into guarding who I'm guarding, and I forget that we're supposed to switch. And I was stuck to glue on Sony because I didn't want her to get the 3. But Suge is more than capable, and that was one of those things where I needed to react a little bit quicker. And she got the 3 off. I mean, hey, we wanted a nail biter, we got one.
For anyone who wants to answer, Bobby Wagner, he was here today with Jaden Daniels watching. I know Bobby joined the Seattle Storm ownership group recently. So what was it like having his support here? And can you just talk about his delving into the WNBA?
I mean, I think it shows that the sports world collides in so many different ways. To have someone who's won at the highest level to come in, not just on a sports team, but a professional women's sports team, and invest quite literally is huge. And it's no surprise that someone like him wants to be involved, and we're very grateful to have him as a part of ownership.
All right, final question.
Ladies, this is for the both of you. For young people that are watching you right now currently and they have goals, such as yourselves, what are some words of advice that you can share for them to stay on the right path and keep grinding the way that you both are?
I mean, I think that discipline is perhaps a lost perspective with the distractions that a lot of young kids experience. I'm a quintessential millennial, so I grew up before the internet. So there are things that kind of contribute to how I approach work. And there are also resources that I discovered once, not just the internet, but all the resources that come with it that I apply to my discipline. So just understanding how to be in the work without the extra, and then also how to use the extra for your benefit, I think is the best way for anyone who's working to try and do something great. Thank you.
Percy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Awesome. Hey, Coach, can you just talk about just the final sort of minutes there? Just from Sykes' shot and then Suggs' shot, and then finally the shot by Nneka. Just everything that kind of happened in that fantastic sort of minute there.
Yeah, I think prior to that, Gabby got a really big steal, deflection and steal. The slim shot was a great read by Sky to deliver it there. Try to put, Sky and Nneka in action. Huge shot by Slim. And then a little bit of a mishap with our defensive scheme on that end, but we've been in a lot of these situations as of late, and maybe haven't had a timeout, or have had to be on a defensive end of that. But to have an opportunity finally to have the time on the clock and give it to our best player to make a play, it feels great, and it feels like the dividends that are paying off with the reps that we've gotten with a lot of these tight games. But yeah, those are really big plays by some really great players down the stretch, and they're very poised and confident. No one ever wavered with how they felt, and so it was good to see that ball go through and get out of here with a victory.
Hey, Coach Rob Knox from the Knicks. That was a fun one. Nneka was there. She mentioned the final play for Sky to get downhill and make a decision one way or the other as far as her going to the basket. As a coach, how cool and comfortable is it to know that you have somebody like Sky and Nneka, obviously veterans, to be able to trust late in the game like that to make the correct read?
Yeah, I mean, they're two of the best to, have ever played in the W and in our game in general. And, to have an opportunity to even be in a position to, help us win in that area, in that way. I have full amount of trust and confidence in both of them, from point guard position to the post position. They've seen a lot of games, been in a lot of games, and you just trust their judgment and play call in that way. And those two, it's the first time they're playing together this many games for this long, and they feed off of one another. And for me, it's not kind of over coaching it, but allowing the great players to be themselves, and that's what you see night in and night out.
And then, secondly, obviously, you had a lot of players have great efforts tonight. Obviously, with this being Slim's home, quote unquote homecoming. What did you like about her game today? What did you see on her on today?
Yeah, I had her on Sony most of the game, and so her physicality, her wherewithal, to play defense and to stay in plays and make it difficult. Slim has helped our pace a lot. And so in transition, getting downhill, and I don't know, something about her having a Storm jersey, not getting to the free throw line hasn't been her MO. She's been doing that well, but her ability to get downhill, play make, and as you can see down the stretch, in both of these games, most recently making big shots. So she fits in. She's communicative. She's giving us a lot of energy and a lot of lift. And for her tonight, I know is always cool to come back to the place that you call home for playing here for a while. I thought that the crowd embraced her, and I thought she played really hard.
All right, Bella, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Just 30 points from Shakira Austin tonight. She was 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Just what made her a difficult matchup today, in particular?
30 points from that Ogwumike too, huh? Shakira is very, athletic. She's strong. She's confident, and right now she's playing with just a lot of moxie. I think, seeing her develop over the years, she in the paint, like showing her handle. The free throws were impressive to me. I'm not sure, previous seasons or historically, if she's this good of a free throw shooter, but her ability to kind of get to the line and finish those and ones. She's a difficult matchup because of her versatility, her size, her shot blocking ability, even defensively. So she was a load for us in that way. But at the end of the day, I think it's just a young player just growing into this league, and she's got some years under her belt, and you see the growth and development.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, there was a lot of great offense, especially early on in the game. And then there were some kind of down moments, some isolation, some 24-second shot clock violations, things like that. Just kind of talk to me about what you did really like and some of the teaching points.
Yeah, I think we missed a lot of layups. So if you think, Dom had about 5 of those that I feel like, usually are, finish. Slim has some bunnies. Gabby has some bunnies. So I'll start there. Like we want to continue to get the looks and continue to get the layups, but we have to finish. And then in the possessions, the longer possessions, the Mystics started, showing a little bit higher on their ball screens, trapping a little bit more. And what we wanted to find, some possessions, we weren't really executing that. And I don't think that we were trying to, the ball was trying to stick, but they impacted the ball and compacted the paint. And so some of our reads weren't as clear as from before when we were kind of playing inflow and transition. So yeah, we got to get rid of those sticky possessions in which that ball is sticking. But if we can continue to get the layups and the looks in the paint, we just have to be more efficient and finish those.
All right, Andrew, go ahead for one question.
Thanks a lot as always, Coach. Congrats on the win. When you see Nneka with a career high 6 3-pointers made, add that as a firm force in her already major offensive arsenal. You feel that has your team reached an offensive zenith or a high point that makes y'all really go back to being an elite team?
Yeah, I think, the 3-point line is going to be important for us now moving forward. And, Nneka's been so consistent from there. And when your bigs can shoot threes, it makes your team very potent in this league. And, it's, we're going to need, our E to hit a couple, Sky to hit a couple, Gab to hit 1 or 2. And I think, if we can live in that, I think that gives us some variety and versatility to our offense. Nneka's been amazing all season, playing at a MVP caliber level. And, from game to game, I think last game maybe didn't hit a 3 or maybe, it wasn't as efficient. And she comes tonight and today and does Nneka things. I think that, if we continue to play in transition and get the easy ones accompanied with shooting efficiently from the 3, not just taking them, but making them, I think it helps our offense. I think it helps our offense a ton.
Thanks.
All right, we have one more question. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Just a quick question about the front court rotation. In the last 10 games, Ezzy has the fewest clutch minutes of any starter. Dom has edged her there. And then in the last 2 games, Dom has played more minutes than Ezzy. I'm just kind of wondering, is there something that you're seeing from Dom down the stretch that you're not seeing from Ezzy that's kind of switch your rotation and later in the game? Or what goes to that?
I think game by game, when Dom is giving us the paint presence offensively, I think it's helpful because it allows us to have pressure at the rim and Nneka to space. When Dom and Ezzy are on the floor, we got some defense and still some pressure on the rim. And just kind of trying to win the game and whatever the game lends. Ezzy, if there's a defensive possession and stop, that's our anchor. So she's going to be on the floor for that. And if we need kind of an offensive, pressure at the rim, Dom has been giving us that. So I think they complement each other really well. I think that both are growing in their respective ways and giving us what, giving the team what we need. And so it's going to continue to be kind of a collaborative effort, a team effort with our front court presence.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.